Hand tracking go. Hand tracking no go. Oh. Dropping frames. No? Why don't we have hands at the moment? Do 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 do. Sorry for those of you who just got the USB disconnect. That was me. I think I have too many things plugged into the motherboard. You can get one of those fancy powered hubs. There we go. How we doing? All right. Clear out some stuff from last time. Would have been a little bit more on time, but Toddler Bot is being a little extra. A little bit extra tonight, so that's fun. Okay, let's see. Get some more things connected. Tonight, we're going to take a break from working on ye old VTubers. And we are going to do some mecha modeling. And I didn't have time to do some prep. I know what I want. I just have to find it for everyone. Okay, let's see. So, if you don't know, the title of today's stream is Mecha Modeling Monday. I've wanted to have a Mecha Modeling Monday for a long time, but normally I can only stream on Tuesday, Thursdays. Still have hands? Still have hands, okay. I need more monitors. I need at least 3 more monitors here. Okay, so Mecha Modeling Monday. Last time I think I had it on a Tuesday. But right now, we are going to search up the target of today's attention. The VOTOMS Scopedog. Started rewatching VOTOMS lately. I haven't seen it in a good long while. VOTOMS Scopedog schematic diagram. Isn't a schematic diagram the same thing? Okay, so VOTOMS was a gritty, a gritty mecha anime from the olden 80s. The creator would later go on, he created a bunch of things, but he would later go on to make Gasaraki, which also had excellent mecha designs, and an unfortunately drab second half. Unfortunate. So strong of a start. But yeah, we're gonna do the Scopedog today, which is the main mecha of VOTOMS. I just need to WebP. Why WebP? How did WebP ever become a thing? Let's see the Scopedog. And let's grab the second image. Do we need the second image? We don't. Okay. I'm gonna save it anyways, though. I love how this manual, it's in English too, so that's cool. It looks like a Chilton manual, like automobile parts manual. Don't know who created it, but kudos to them. All right, let's see. Bring this up on screen. I think we're doing display capture. Yes, I do believe we're doing display capture. Let's go find these. Oh, and I should bust chat out of here. Now I can see all your beautiful faces. And I will probably have to do some creative work with this guy because I need to put him in the background so I can line him up nicely. I do not have a decent front view. We've got profile, Where are we? Where are we? We got profile view right here, right here. But we don't have the front view. Let's pull up an actual image of the Scopedog as well. Oh, why did I close my tab? For real. Let's show y'all what Armored Trooper VOTOMS looks like. Do 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 do. I pull up the VOTOMS Scopedog. VOTOMS is the series name. I don't know if I actually mentioned that. Oh, it stands for something. It sure does. But I pull up the schematic in Google search, and all I get are little gunpla, the plastic model kits. Let's see if we can find just a cool shot of it here. Might have to go to the YouTubes. Cosplay? Oh, sweet. So one of the cool things about... Here we go. One of the cool things about VOTOMS is, despite it being gritty, like a gritty war anime, kind of in response to... or maybe a step further than the original Gundam. How that was a kind of a heroic war story, but still had its faults, or the characters still had their faults and their dark sides and all that. I mean, yeah, the Gundam was one of the first ones, I think, where they were a little more real. They weren't the heroic characters off to, save the day all the time. They all had their issues, whether it's because, hey, the main character is basically a teenager conscripted into war. So he's going to act like a teenager sometimes. These things happen. All right, let's see what Wikipedia has here. Yeah, so I started rewatching Crummy Picture. Why can't I find a decent picture? Okay, anyways. I started rewatching VOTOMS because I just finished up a different series. And... oh, it's so tiny. Just finished up a different series. And... needed a new series to watch. I was like, you know what? I had a hankering to watch some VOTOMS. So I started watching it, and last time I watched it was when I first got the DVD box set from an anime con, like, now, mid-2000s maybe? DVDs, for one thing. I think it's streaming on one of the services. iDive or something. But, yes, I popped in DVDs, and thankfully the PlayStation has some noise filtering, because it wasn't the highest quality animation to begin with, so it kind of smoothed out some of the rough spots. So that was nice. I don't know if it bumps up the frame rate or anything either, but give it a little extra bump, make it seem maybe not quite as old as it actually is. But yeah, no. I remember especially liking the first, I think the first 2 seasons especially. The last arc, I'm eager to watch it again, because maybe I'll appreciate it more now than I did back then. We'll see. It's not like I was watching it as a kid and then came back, and I'm coming back to it as an old man now. No, this was like still a good almost 20 years ago. 15-ish years ago, maybe, that I originally saw it. And no, the character and the mecha animation still a lot of fun. If you can appreciate older animation, like 80s animation, you're not going to get your your Demon Slayer UFO table budget and slick animation, but it does have its own charm. So things like Dominion Tank Police, Bubblegum Crisis, VOTOMS here. What are some other good? Oh, there's just a ton of anime of that era that you know, the animation I still enjoy. And then into the late 80s, early 90s, and you know, a lot of straight to video series had a lot more budget attached to them, so they could get even better quality animation, you know, before digital. So, but enough yapping. I'm sure I'll yap again when somebody's like, "Oh my God, VOTOMS," or "What the heck is this? Well, who's this green guy?" I'm sure I'll explain it again. So for now, let's see if we can bring him into the program so it doesn't go away when I click off of him all the time, because that'll get annoying real quick. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think I'm just gonna grab a screenshot of the face, though I might have to eyeball it. I didn't, on a quick search, I was not able to, on a quick search, I wasn't able to find just a straight on blueprint. Did have the shot on the far side of the screen. But we're gonna take this shot, go dig it out of the screenshot directory, and we'll bring it right into the software in the background there. Now, where are you hiding? Scroll, scroll, scroll. There we are. Okay. We're gonna edit you in Paint of all things, because I don't need it fancy. .516 by 521. There we go. Save that. Move that to our My directory so I can go find it. So how's everyone doing? How are we doing today? Oh, you get the first time chatter. Hide Hermit Studio. I almost read it too fast and slurred it all up. Welcome, welcome. We are going to be doing that is, I actually get a surprising amount of comments for having Winamp up in the corner. It is, I am screen capturing? Application, window capture, there we go. Window capturing Winamp. So it's not an OBS plugin or anything, or you know, not faking that it's Winamp. It actually is the Winamp. Yeah, I was gonna have the robot up today. I do have I have the VOD of last time where he made his triumphant return with issues. Triumphant return with issues. His the neck servo was turned off after like 10 minutes. But the VOD is up. I don't know if I made any clips of it, but I do have the VOD from last Thursday? Yeah, last Wednesday? Whenever it was last week. Didn't have a whole lot of time before stream tonight to do setup. I'm still picking out my source material here. He requires a little bit of setup because he's kind of finicky to get all the pieces working right. And also I broke my foot pedal for his for moving his neck back and forth. So that's fresh off the 3D printer. I just have to put it back up together. So yes, have you thought about using Lego gears for the neck? Let me switch to my... Actually, I can just pull up the video. Where are we going? Video. Where'd I hide the VOD? I actually put it in the VODs directory. Go figure. Okay. So, we got some Inception here. Streamception. So, I'm gonna mute this. There we go. So, if you see this, the scale here. We got lots of Rusties. Rusty's all over the screen. I should bring up a fake Rusty screenshot too. So if you look at the scale, this in the middle is a 3.5-inch disk drive. So that's, this is about 4 inches across, right from here to here. So Lego gears would not cut it. Originally, when I was first designing Robot Rusty, he was going to be a slightly smaller scale. Not quite Lego scale, but... Oh yeah, in fact, if you look above his... right there, above his eye, these are actually Legos right here. Just to give you a sense of scale. This is a camera lens that I scavenged. It was a broken camera lens, so I didn't feel bad about bringing it into this project. And then, yeah, these are Legos. This is printer parts. 3.5-inch drive, headphones. But yeah, and then he is using the same, well, part of the VTuber pipeline for the motion capture to faces. So there are servos in his head here to move the camera lens around. And then this eye on his left, is funny because I'm making my hand motions, but I'm looking at the same video you're looking at in the center, which is not the motion capture. So that's throwing me off a little bit. Okay, so the VTuber model was made after the physical model. So we have this, some of the same features, right? So the screen eye, if you look at him, that's actually a different VTuber model that I'm getting all of the joint rotations off of, and the software that I wrote on Rusty's computer. So that software is not running right now because it's on a different machine. But when I have him running, the robot running, I'm using the VTuber motion capture, sending it over to Unity. Unity actually has a Vroid model in there. That's where we get the eye, his left eye, on the little screen. That's actually capturing the Vroid model's eye. And then the servos are being moved, reading the rotations off the other eye. And then the head is being controlled by the head and neck. So yeah, it was a really fun project. This is actually version 2 or 3 of the neck. So I no longer get the squeaky neck problems. However, the servos were having issues last time where they timed out after about 10 minutes or so. Let me skip ahead. Oh yeah, there's some of my lovely code for it. He's still running in the bottom corner of the screen at this point. So yes, he had to be without his neck motors for a bit. Because for some reason they decided to stop working. And then later on they were just fine. So I have to track down that problem. Yeah, I should have the eye turn automatically red. No, I can control that. There, let's pause him. Actually, let's keep him running. I am actually going to have a little error message show up in the center here when he does have errors. So I have that visual cue that, oops, something's being off. I'm going to throw a little error message here. If you look right here, this is, I have a microphone putting in a filter. So this is actually a microphone waveform. This is fun project. I just want to keep adding more and more to it as I go. Eventually I want to get arm control, but that's going to require another control board, because I don't trust the Leap Motion to send direct control through it, seeing as half the time it will send this arm up through my through my chest. So I don't test that or trust that to not do the same with the physical model. My background is yeah, arms are gonna be fun. I'm gonna start off, if you don't want the immersion break, spoiler alert, I'm gonna start off with puppet controls. So it won't actually be fully software controlled. There'll be more puppet controls and partial software control, depending on what I'm doing. The project originally started with I wanted to build a robot, like that could pick stuff up and play checkers or whatever and all that kind of fun stuff. But kind of went this way instead. My background, my day job is a software dev for little boring business software, but I have background in 3D art and design, web design, art, programming for a long time, little jack of all trades, and getting back into 3D modeling and animation-y type stuff after a very, very long break. I don't know if you can read the very top of the screen there. It says Maya 2016. That's the it's not pirated, as some viewers were surprised and suggested. It's not pirated. It is that's the last version I bought. That's the last version I bought when I was still doing freelance. Oh, and you get an immersion break. I was trying to figure out why his head stopped moving around. So there you go. You have a technician for scale. As I'm trying to figure out why he wasn't quite working correct next time. And hello, Captain Steelpants. Welcome back. Welcome back. Catching up a little bit on the excitement of last time. A little behind the scenes as I'm mucking around in Rusty's head here. So yep, he's on pause again. Maybe I'll bring him back on Wednesday if I have time to reinstall his newly 3D printed foot pedal to control the neck back and forth. Freshly printed this afternoon. So yes, I do a little CAD work too, because that's an easier way. Normally I can only stream on let's put that video down for now. Normally I can only stream on after the kids, the little robots go down for sleep. So after 8, a couple times a week. That's my normal. And this week it just happens. See, look at that arm. Did you see that? That is why I don't trust my motion control for my motion control for moving the actual robot arm around. It'd be a little rough. Look at that. See, that would go right through the arm. Robot Rusty already ignores some of the safeties I have built in to the code. I have a toddler and a baby, or toddler bot and baby bot. Baby just wants to chew on power cables when they get down here, and the toddler is like, "What's that?" And then I let them play with a controller and a keyboard that I have laying around here, and they're thoroughly amused. Oh yeah, no clue. I don't let them near my work machine. They can go play Mario Kart. And we'll work our way up to getting them in the complete nerdiness. That is a for sure. But no, it does one of the many reasons I wanted to do streaming is because it gives me a schedule of kind of like accountability of, hey, this is my time to work on things, or at least this is my time to play. I gotta schedule that stuff. Yeah, it's a little rough sometimes. So I have to go grab. Let's see. And also part of this is part of the whole Rusty project is me getting back into 3D. Because it's so much fun, and I neglected it for a while. Oh yeah, I draw. I actually, funny enough, I have I'm a software dev, but I have an art degree. But you do something for long enough, and they'll forgive you for not having a piece of paper that says what you're supposed to be doing. Let's see. Let's create a plane. Create a plane on the front. What are we? We are, let's make this, let's make it 10 by 10. Is that big enough? Glad you like the low poly rig. I made most of it myself. Because I didn't want to start completely from scratch right off the bat. The business suit is semi off the shelf. Some poor fella did kind of lose his head to let me have it though. And then the head here is fully done by me. I do plan on. Oh gosh, it's been like 6 months since I started. I started at the beginning of the year, maybe February. So I should have a 6-month retrospective. That'd be fun to put together. I really should do that, because I think the VODs are long gone. Twitch only lets you store them for so long. But I want to show my progress, getting back into it. This is my digital self. If you look, not missing chunks. The antenna is, fairly intact. It's not made of cardboard. So in the digital world, he is more put together, and the physical world is reassembling himself from spare parts and office equipment that he finds laying around. That's the lore. So yeah, so the digital version is in better shape than the real version. I am just a manifestation. Think Reboot. You ever watched Reboot? Way back when. Now, if that's a show that needs a reboot, that'd be pretty cool. I think they tried rebooting it a couple years ago, rebooting the reboot, or there were plans to, but I think it might be locked in like licensing hell. Somebody probably has the toy rights, somebody probably has the some distribution rights somewhere. Yeah, it's probably a real mess. Simple Google search would fix that, but where's the fun in that? Windows. Let's make ourselves a new material. Oh, and I have been very tempted to, come on, get over here. I have been very tempted to, update my version of Maya. It's hard though, because, this is a perpetual license. So I never have to pay for this again. In fact, when I got my new computer, this lovely beast we're using right now, I had to go back and forth with Autodesk for weeks. And then, just to prove that, hey, yes, I actually do own this, and yes, it is a perpetual license. Thank you very much. There we go. It is a perpetual license, and I would like it to remain that way. Funny enough, they didn't want to upgrade me to, to the newest version for the same, for not paying anything more. It's kind of weird how they didn't want to do that. Sarcasm. But I am missing out on some sweet tools. Alright, let's close the hypershade. So there's the image plane we're going to be using as a base. I think I'll probably only get really as far as... who knows how far I'll get tonight. I've been yapping. I don't know how far I'll get tonight, but my main goal was to get the, at least for this mecha modeling in general, at least get the head done. Because I wanna make it a little costume for Rusty, or at least have it zoom around in the background somewhere like a... Honestly, I want to 3D print it. I mean, why would I buy a $20, kit when I could spend 50 hours modeling it and printing it myself? Yes, a Blender is the big question, right? Why don't I just use Blender? And the reason for that is I started with Maya back in college, and then after college I continued to use it. I had my own license for it and everything. And I also used Max when I was doing architectural visualization. I can't say that word anymore. ArchViz, modeling houses and buildings and stuff. So I used Max and Maya, and then I continued to use Maya as a freelancer for, years. So it's like muscle memory. And back then, Blender was not great. I mean, we're talking a long time ago. Yeah, it is amazing. I have it installed, and I played with it a little bit. One of the first things I did was I think I switched the keyboard shortcuts to the Maya style. It's one of the first things I did. So I'm going to get used to it. I do want to learn it because it does have some really neat things that even if I were to update Maya, I mean, it's like it might not have the same tools. Some does one thing better, some the other. There's a lot of cool plugins and add-ons that the community has made for Blender, and there's some really neat stuff, especially for doing VTubers and rigging. Because who wants to pay, well, the indie license for Maya is actually cheap, if you're using it to make money. It's $300 a year, US. Which sounds super expensive, but if you're making, actual money, as a job, you gotta buy your tools. Or, I mean, you don't have to, but. Yeah, I was on, whose stream was I on? I was talking with this on, was it Mapleborg? Might have been Maple's. Maple's stream about that. Yeah, just recently, the people who now own Winamp, they decided to, holy smokes. Oh, come on, what? Okay, that's not cool. I am sorry. We got some very aggressive auto mod. Let me fix that right away. That's not cool, Stream Elements. You didn't try to post a link or anything, did you? How do I untime out somebody? Stream Elements, why are you being unkind? I mean, I thought we were having a lovely conversation. Oh, did you see the NFT word? Maybe Stream Elements took offense to that. Let's see. Activity feed. No? Streaming tools? So I use Stream Elements for the bot, and that's about it. Darn. I would have to dig into where these stupid settings are to release AutoMod's fierceness here. Settings. Are we being too aggressive? Yeah, it just went all out on you. Modules? Yeah, I have it set to like minimum, just minimum modding. Huh. So I missed whatever you typed last. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? I mean, it doesn't care what I say because it's not doing text-to-speech, but yeah. Yeah, yay Stream Elements. Yeah, hi Waffle. Yeah, Mapleborg. Yeah, they've stopped by a few times. Then I hopped over in history when they were doing the working on art fight. I think I was there last week, a couple weeks before that. A lot of fun. High energy. But yeah, we were talking about Winamp. And I was like, what? No, there's nothing wrong with Winamp. Apparently I'm running the version before they decided to, the new owners decided to embrace NFT type stuff. You know, for digital permissions on music and such, which, you know, digital licensing aside. Yeah. I mean, I'm running good old, it's a stream, DRM free, you know, streamers available music here. This is backing track, so they make all their stuff free and cool. Let's see. This was supposed to be the final version. They updated it for Windows 11. It is version, where are we? There we go. Bam. 5.9 build 9999. So I imagine if you search for that build, you'll probably find it because I just installed it last year. I thought I installed it off their main site, but they went a little, they changed things up since then. But I think you might be able to find it on like CNET or something, of all places, you know. Works great though. Just wanted to make sure I could play all my, you know, CDs that I ripped from, because I don't want to dig out the actual cases. And, you know, lovely streaming music like this. Come on, arms. There we go. All right. Well, I'll have to dig into the Stream Elements aggressiveness later. Online radio station. You know, I never really use those through Winamp. I mostly use it to play my own music. It does say you can play URLs, so I would assume it can still stream. You know, I've got way too many CDs. So if Winamp ever fails me, I have to make sure I keep a boombox around. Okay, where are we? No, and sadly enough, like, what was it? 3 years ago, I want to say, my first MP3, well, no, technically my second MP3 player, it finally died after, like, 15 years. I'd say that's a good long life for a, something that actually had a little spinning drive in it and everything, I think. Did it have yeah, I think it actually had some kind of spinning drive in it. was a Creative Zen. So the Creative was the brand, like Sound Blaster and such, and Zen was the model. It had a little color screen, came out around the same time as the original iPods and such. But yep, that darn thing finally died. And so I needed to get something a little better, a little bigger. It's like, do I want to replace it? Oh man, I'm gonna need transparent shaders on everything, aren't I? You know, do I want to replace it with another MP3 player? And it's like, no, you have a phone or you have Spotify or whatever. So at least I can listen to my tunes on on my computers. I gotta remember how to do all this again. It's been quite a while. Where are my shelves? Visor? Nope, not the visor. I've gotten a lot of modeling done here. Let's see. General editor? There we go. Display layers. Okay. You go to layer 1. Add selected object. View? Nope. Nope. There we go. Well, shit. I have forgotten the old ways. How do you make something visible? No. That's a template. That's a reference. Well, you know what? I think we're gonna do this freehand, as amazing as that's going to be. Let's do this freehand. Switch the panels around here a little bit. You are front. You will be side. And you are top. We're gonna do this the tricky way now. Because I don't remember how to set something transparent, of all things. It's like one of the easiest things in the world, if you can remember. Okay, so Mr. Scopedog here. I'm going to make a slightly smaller version of him. We're gonna start off making this guy just for fun, I think. Let's go lower resolution. We have way too many. I think we're gonna stick with well. You always make them higher res. So I think we're gonna make him low poly, just like us. He's one of us now. Let's do 16. Too much? Too much. 12 it is. Okay. So we'll make him just a little bit smaller. Maybe right there. Let's do some booleans. Make sure I delete the right one. I think we need a hypergraph over here. Did I really just destroy my my guy again? Ah, for there. I accidentally grabbed the plane. Radius 10 to subdivisions, height subdivisions. There we go. That is what I get for not having the proper window set up here. So you are going to be locked. Can't mess with you again. Mesh. All right. Where did you go? Okay, I've got my two objects. Well, we're gonna get nowhere fast if we can't even find our darn objects here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Delete all by type. Delete by type. History. Okay, I'm having issues here. Where did my sphere go? I'm sure this is gonna be a very entertaining stream if I'm just sitting here staring blankly at the screen. Okay. We booleaned. Took a sphere, another sphere. I don't know why there's two spheres there. Cannot perform boolean. Well, if it can't perform the boolean, then why did it try performing the boolean? Oh, that's interesting. That is why. Because it's not a solid object, it couldn't perform the boolean, so it just removed. Everything. That's a weird way of doing that, I think. Yeah. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to carve out. Part of the sphere. So you have the big sphere on the outside. and I was going to carve out the smaller sphere. I guess that makes sense from a certain point of view. Why it didn't work. Okay. Well, we can play this a different way. We can play this a different way. Let's see. We'll go like this. Does that select all of them? That does select all of them. And we will, this one. Oh, for frick's sake. Apparently it doesn't want us, it doesn't want us doing that either. We are off to a great start. Alright, where are you hiding? Gotta minimize some windows so I can dig my Maya back out. Maybe I should use Fusion to make this guy instead. Oh man. Why is 3D complicated? Yeah. Because you can do so much. It is a Swiss Army knife. And you can do so much with it. Too much, almost. Oh, man. Where did it hide my, What? Okay, it's not worth trying to dig out the file for that. The recovery file, because it's not showing up anyways. Is it? It isn't. That is interesting that it didn't even save the recovery file in a decent spot. Probably put in like my documents or something. It was probably looking for my documents. No, I didn't get far enough to save it, in my opinion. And rookie mistake. So I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit here. We're gonna bring in that the reference photo. I'm gonna throw a Scopedog on it. Where's my hypershade? Hypershade. Come on, hypershade. Hello, Maple. We were just talking about you. I think we had mentioned Winamp at some point. So we were just talking about that, how I am indeed using Winamp here in the bottom corner of the screen. Well, let's use a blend this time. Let's bling bling. Yeah. And as long as it's not clogged with as long as it's not clogged with weird stuff in the program, it should be just fine. I think I tried using one of my old installs from, like, 10-15 years ago, and it did not work on Windows 11, but they made this 9999 build the final build. So that's the one I've been using for a year now. I think I built this PC just over a year ago. You in data? No. Where did I hide the texture? Assets. There you are. Change your render view. There you are. Ooh, you're glossy now. Move you to the side. Save. Because I didn't save before. Scopedog 1. I mean, I'm using 11 and it is what it is. I'm, however, using Pro. Because I updated I think it's because I updated Windows 10 Pro, 7 Pro, who knows what. So Pro version doesn't have a lot of the crap with it. Did I buy it? No, I'm pretty sure I upgraded it from an old an old machine that is no longer functioning. But yeah, Windows 11 Pro, it comes without a lot of the garbage in it. And also you get virtual machines. So I've used them a few times to simulate old like Windows XP, because I had like one software, I don't remember what it was. And I wanted to make sure I could still use it in the future. But obviously I don't use it that much because I don't even remember what it was called. But it worked in the virtual machine, so that's what counts, right? All right. Panel. Ortho. Front. But no, I am strongly considering Blender. Strongly considering Blender for certain things. And I think getting back into modeling. Why aren't you tumbling? There you go. Or rotating. It'd be nice to, yeah, I mean, if I'm starting over, relearning things, yeah, it'd be nice to learn the blenders. Let's see, audio was interesting. I don't have audio. Ooh, aha. Maple, are you using a Bluetooth headset for your microphone? I did that at first, and the audio would go crunchy after like 20 minutes, half an hour or something. And so, I only found that out after watching VODs after a few times, because I would do audio tests before I go live, right? As one does. So, yeah, I had to switch microphones a few times. Skype. Do 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 do. Good old Skype. Ooh. Nice Go XLR. So I went from, a nice headset that I thought had nice audio. Went from that to one of my old gamer headsets, which sounded much better after I fed the audio through NVIDIA Broadcast, which chewed up 30% of my GPU just to make it sound nice. And then eventually I kept my eyes on Marketplace, and I picked up a Yeti with a nice boom arm. It's like right when I capture it, it's right above. Okay, right over here. There's where my microphone is. Can't quite. There we go. Right up here somewhere. I have a Yeti on a nice boom arm that I picked up for a steal. I made sure it didn't, fall off the back of someone's truck or whatever. But it was quite a good deal for someone slowly building up my streaming gear. But yeah. No, it's the one of the sturdy arms with the shock mount even. I looked up that kit, that kit was like $150 or something like that when it first came out. So it's an older microphone, but I don't know. It still sounds nice. So I do have a little bit of noise canceling through OBS, and that's all it takes, really. How do we lock this up without locking it up? I am indeed using a Leap, Leap 1, and I have it, I found out because I like to talk with my hands, and I don't really care if it picks up my keyboard typies. I have it on my desk. So it is sitting on top of my keyboard. Let's grab a ruler. I mean, see, it's got good tracking. See, like, here's a ruler. And it is about, wait. I can't use freedom units with you, can I? It is about 50 centimeters from my chest on top of my keyboard. But yeah, and it's pointing straight up. Well, very, very slight angle, but it's mostly pointing up. And that gets me, let's see, finger test. Come on, finger test. Oh, we're not doing fingers today. It gets me to right there. So that's really good. I mean, that's some really good range actually. And then I can go up until it fades out just over my, oh, actually, see, sometimes it gets really good and sometimes it doesn't. I think it's flaking out a little bit right now because I'm wearing a sweatshirt. If I'm just wearing like a t-shirt and it can actually see my wrists and my, the forearms, it gets way better tracking resolution. But it's cold down here right now. So sometimes it flakes out. But yeah, I can get this is as far as I can reach physically, sitting at my desk. Oh man, it's doing really good now. I can tap my monitor and everything. What does it do? I think it uses infrared cameras. So it creates a depth, like a little, we'll call it depth capture. And then their software knows what the joints are supposed to look like for your fingies. I'm not actually fully even using it because this model only has 3 fingers, low poly. But yeah, no, it has a really good range. The Leap 2, the sequel to this, supposed to be even better, but I don't have $200 ruse to when this works okay enough. But if you're looking for one, keep your eyes on eBay or Marketplace. That's where I pick up a lot of my stuff, whether it's camera gear or computer stuff that I don't care if it's used or not. But yeah, good old Marketplace finds. Yep. It's a good place to save some cash. Oh, and you're doing good because you're helping remove e-waste, right? Because you are preventing that from going to the landfill. So you're just doing your part to save the environment, right? And we have all got to do our part. $10, $12. I would set this to autosave, but I really don't want it to autosave all the time. And I should also really look up the commands to to properly set that up, because it's been a long time since I worked from a reference photo instead of freehanding or a model I could just bring in. I mean, in fact, when I did this this model right here in the corner of the screen, I actually brought in my I exported my CAD files. Exported my CAD files to and then use those as a reference to build out this model. So they were some gross looking OBJ files because of how solid modeling works versus wireframe. Why would I not autosave? Maya, as you noticed already, Maya is notorious for crashing when you least think it would. You don't even have to be doing something complicated sometimes. I'm not entirely sure why it got confused and it decided to crash at that. So I'll save right now. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought that deleting vertices would have caused it to crash. Oh, fine, fine, fine. I'll use the menu. But yeah, here we are. Oh yeah. I'm using perpetual license of 2016, so it's older code, but it checks out. All right. Let's see. Okay, so now that we've got that guy, now we're gonna. Should we try the Boolean again? Oh, Maya's fantastic with modeling, especially organic. I've used it for doing product rendering, product modeling and rendering, and because I mostly had animation in mind with that, and I was used to Maya, loved using it for that, especially since I also have ZBrush if I want to do more organic stuff. Also perpetual. Praise the perpetual gods. But back when I did architectural visualization, I used Max. They were still an Autodesk house, so we used AutoCAD. Like the architects use AutoCAD. Then I brought that all into Max and did the house and commercial property renderings with that. So if you ask me to jump back into Max now, nah, sorry. But I did end up writing some good shaders in Max back in the day and rendering stuff out. Maya used to be the industry. Yeah, what is the new? I know Houdini has come a long ways. I would say Maya is still industry standard for depending on what kind of animation you're doing. Though honestly, for some things, Unreal is definitely going to overtake. I mean, you'll still do your modeling and rigging and everything in Maya or even Blender. But maybe Cinema 4D. Kinema 4D, I don't know. But yeah, no, I honestly, real-time rendering, it's so nice. I mean, I've been playing around with Unity, and I can get it to look amazing. What, 10 years ago would have taken minutes and minutes to render out every frame of that. I can just play it live. It's pretty wild, especially with a low poly model. Yeah, no, Maya and Max are completely different creatures. It's kind of wild how different they actually are and remained. Yeah, I was just looking something up, and there was a Reddit question about that. It's like, oh well, why can't we just take this out of, or why can't Autodesk just take this out of Max and put it over in Maya? Some modeling tools that Max has. It's like, well, yeah, no, they're completely different creatures on completely different engines. So they're not gonna play nicely at all. Little mouse. And what I should do is I should dig out somewhere around here. I've got a paper printout that came with the software of the what all the darn shortcuts are, because that is what I'm kind of hurting on at the moment. Like, man, back in the day. Oh, let's save first, because for some reason it crapped out on this Boolean last time. Might also help if you remember your orders of operations. There we go. There, see? Perfectly fine. Now we have a nice, semi-beautiful, topologized creature here. Why on earth didn't it connect those? Okay. So, one of the beautiful things about Maya that I prefer over, actually, that I don't know about in Blender, because, you know, I need to do the donut tutorial. Never got around to that. We have these lovely things called the modeling toolkit, and it is my favorite damn thing in the world. Okay, where's my multi-cut? Go to face mode. Multi-cut. Multi-cut. No? No? Are we gonna misbehave? Do I not have vertex snapping on? I have vertex snapping. Vertex. Vertex. Good. There we go. So one of the things that I do appreciate about Blender and would definitely cause me to, I don't know about switch, but also use it, because, I mean, Maya's animation tools are second to none. GeoNodes. Some plugins that people have made. There are some awesome hard surface plugins that I drool over whenever I see them on featured online on YouTube. There we go. Now we have a lovely, properly cut R2-D2 head. I should do a mashup when I get this done. I should do a mashup of R2-D2 and the Scopedog, because they're very similar and very similar here. Let's see. Do I want? Nah, let's use this. Okay, let's see. How far up do we have to go for this? Where's my other source image? Source. Schematic. Oh, he's got a big ol' opening in there. Okay, okay. Correction, we're not going to cut yet. 6, there we go. We are going to hollow out ourselves a little area here. Let's see. Since we're doing low poly, where are we at? We need this little opening here for when the visor flips up. I don't know if I should bother modeling that, but I think I will anyways. I forget that he can flip that up. Yeah. So, you know, I've done I'll just call it product modeling back in the day when I had to do a lot more paid work. So like schematics, parts breakdown, and blow ups. You know, modeled from blueprints. You know, blueprints, not Unreal's version of blueprints, but modeled and then animated to show them working, and also parts explosions. So all the little nuts and bolts separated and showing where they go. I've done that that's my old hard surface. Otherwise, I did a lot of organic modeling too, which is why I have ZBrush. But I am looking to stick to, because I'm not doing, this is a hobby for me right now, right? So I'm gonna stick to a more narrow focus. It's one of my faults. Not narrow enough of a focus. And hard surface modeling. I think I've narrowed down. I mean, that's why I'm doing a mecha here. That's why I'm a robot. It's like, you know what? I will make myself a handsome anime lad model sometime, but for now, no, we're gonna stick with this. The hard surface look. And how will I get this in here just like that? Maybe I shouldn't have gone as low poly as I did. I'm gonna get here. and then wrap around. So I was going to extrude off of that, but I think I'm going to play with one of the other tools that I didn't really play with too much. Okay, how do we make lie? Overlay appended mesh, auto weld, yes. Can I just draw right on it now? No live surface, No, that's not how that works. Why isn't that doing what I want it to? Quad draw? So one of the cool things, usually this is used for retopologizing. In fact, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing right now. Except I, of course made the mistake of not, there we go. Click to drop dots. Inside quad mesh. Yes, no. Okay, maybe we're not going to use quad draw. So this tool is used to retopologize. So let's say you have something messy and instead of trying to mash it all together and boolean it, you just draw over the top of it, make it nice, clean, have a nice clean mesh out of it. Wait, do I just drag? Oh, Jesus, what the? That's new. Okay, we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way first, and then we'll remodel it. Is what happens when we're out of practice. Okay. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna add in another edge loop here. I do that. Where is my... Somebody doesn't remember all of his old shortcuts. Fix quads, insert with edge flow. Hell yeah. Wait. Nah, that's not there. Okay. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and we might as well add another one. Let's see, how far up do we want to go? Let's add in... Actually, no, we're good. I just want one around the bottom. So I remember the things that we can do, but not necessarily how to do them anymore. Because we are olds. And has been a literal, well, not a literal decade, pretty darn close though, to a decade since I've consistently used the software. For instance, I really should probably just model this, what I'm trying to do, instead of what I'm trying to do here. But we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Okay, we are going to extract the mesh. Separate the mesh. No, we don't want to do that. We want to... extrude, but separate. Is that a thing we can do? definitely where the topologize tool would come in handy here. Extract. There we go. Show manipulated to adjust our offset. Yes. No, you're not going to. Okay, well, we'll extract them just a little bit. Keep faces together. Nice, nice. Did you remove it? You did remove it. That's not what I asked you to do. Where is the tool I'm actually looking? Is it duplicate? Oh, you idiot. It is duplicate. Okay, let's try this again. That looks about right. Yeah. Give it a little bit more. And then we need to hinge it, but I think we're going to add a cylinder on either side. Okay. Now we can use the correct tools. Duplicate. Yes. There. Now we have a legally distinct mesh. Ta-da! Yes, that is exactly what I want to do. This would be good for making face masks too. Yeah, let's put that however far away that was. And there we go. Now we have separate separate dealios. We will call this something else. We'll give it its own name. It's not polysurface 2. We'll call this visor, which won't be confusing at all, seeing as visor is one of the toolbars in Maya. Now, just for funsies, we can bring up something here. Ta-da! We have a visor. And it's made up of just polygons right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect these two guys right here. And then I will extrude it to give it some thickness. Let's see. So there, we can actually get partially to where we are going. Maybe. Multi-cut. Every time I play with multi-cut, I want to think that I'm in the fifth element. Oh no. Can multi-cut really not? It can't, huh? You have to be within the model, not outside of the model. So what I should have done is I should have used this one, cut it. You know, it's not too late. It's not too late. Or I could just join the stupid vertices. Let's see. Let's see if we can just join the vertices the good old-fashioned way. Mesh. Average. Connect. No, that didn't do it. Are you a connect? You are not a connect. Oh, come on. This is what happens when you don't remember quite enough of what you should. Okay, we will do this different. There's always a different way to do things. How far back are we going? There we go. Nope, wrong way. Face, face, face. Eventually I will, see, I mean, there's practice. There we go. That's my excuse. Make it just a little bit more. Let's make the offset a little larger, actually. Let's make it a 0.3. Oh, I don't know what that did. Let's say right about there. Go back to the other tool. And now we can go to our multi-cut and make a very simple cut. Remove. Oh, come on, let me remove. There are so many different ways to remove. Oh, it's Control Delete. That's what I was doing before. I was trying Shift Delete, and that is not a thing. There. Now we have a visor. A deliberately low poly visor. Let's make a, where's my hypershade? Come on. Let's make us another Lambert, because I don't want it to be shiny. We'll call this visor. And it will just be slightly grayer. Which is funny because that's opposite. Let's make it, let's make it that color. Drop it on the visor. Make another Lambert, so it's not, so we're not just staring at a whole bunch of not just staring at the same putty gray the whole time. And we will make this one a bit darker. Not that dark. There we go. And we'll apply this to the head. Kind of blends into the background, unfortunately. Let's change that. It's funny, it doesn't look anything like that color in the... There we go. In the editor over on the other screen. Another reason I have to either update or either update my Maya or switch to Blender for the free version. My Arnold does not work. I cannot get a license for the one of the rendering engines for this version of Maya. For some reason, I can't get it to work, and they're rendering stuff. I don't really want to pester Maya or pester Autodesk about it again. But yeah, I can't use Arnold's not working in here. I can use Mental Ray though. It's just not at all supported. It's very outdated. Good news is I have my own little library of Mental Ray shaders I made over the years for all sorts of different things. Skin textures, trees, all that. But yeah, they're out of date. So who knows? maybe I am contemplating the Switch. It would save me $300 a year, which I would definitely appreciate. Okay. Okay, now something that I need to look at here. Oof. It would be nice to find whatever cool book this came out of. VOTOMS Viewers Guide. Wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, that's my hard drive spinning up, if you could hear that. My storage drive. Do I have this? God, where would it have been? Nope, not there. VOTOM viewers. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. So this is funny. I have this. I actually have a scan of this. It's the a fan-made publication, as far as I know, called the VOTOMS Viewers Guide, back from the 80s. Wait, English text and presentation by Tim Eldred. Okay, correction, it's a fan sub. I didn't realize that's where this was from. So that's funny. Let's see. How do I do that? Okay. So does it actually have a much higher resolution version of this? See? Armored Troopers VOTOMS Viewers Guide. Back in the 90s, I think, someone, a group fan translated this and did all of the layout and everything on it. So how cool is that? So what we're looking at here, oop, that's not a Scopedog technically. Here he is. Here's the base model, the standard model Scopedog. So we're trying to do this helmet here. I already had all these. Ah, awesome. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I would obviously love a print of this, even if it's in Japanese. Just have the physical copy. Oh, geez, how big is this thing? You don't want spoilers. You know, I should probably read the table of contents. Instead, you get clicking ASMR. Yeah, somebody translated all that from the Japanese. Okay, what page? Appendix. Good grief. How would I just go to the back? Okay. Yeah, they have all the variations in here too. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a really cool series if you like old mecha designs and old mecha. The story is pretty good. It is definitely of its time. The gritty 80s sci-fi mecha. Oh, that one's pretty sweet. This almost looks like a BattleTech mech. Here we are. There, that's this page. I had it the whole time. But yes, no, it's good. Does it hold up? Is it vintage? Yes. It's vintage and it's got some really neat stuff going on. Okay, so the whole head assembly. There's that part right there. There's the visor. The visor hinges. And the side. And the headphone jack. Oh yeah, so I can definitely get away with what I'm doing here. I'm just going to leave this open in the back because it is much higher quality than the awful JPEG I was looking at. So this little triangle, little boomerang looking triangle here, that sits forward, and it can move back and forth. It moves back and forth on this slot, right here. In fact, let's see if we can just load up. Let's just maybe load up a incognito window for fun. VOTOMS opening. No, those are not, that's not VOTOMS opening. There we go. Oh, I highly recommend hopping over to YouTube and just watching this. Nothing suspicious? Okay. The audio is not on. Correct. Audio is not on. So. But it is very 80s, if not 70s. Da-da-dun, da-da-dun. So that's the lens module. That's coming up next. Do we have more action here? Oh, and epilepsy warning there too. Jeez. Bam. Okay. Man, I'm gonna have to model a high-def lens there. Little camera lens. Okay. So here is the whole Scopedog head zoomed in. There. Oops. Ew. That's gross. So I need to make the slot that the lens assembly moves back and forth on. That can wait. That's not super essential. That could be just a texture, actually. But the tri-lens assembly, okay. That'll be actually pretty easy to do in low poly. Oh, fantastically late 70s, early 80s anime opening is very... Yes, it is an experience of its time. You know, I think we can just make the assembly right on here. What does our profile view look like? Profile, okay. So, I don't have a side view right now, but if I did, I'm going to extrude this out a little bit to give it some thickness, and then it looks like extrude it again, or well, alter that so it goes more flush, more vertical. It's interesting that it dips in right here. Okay, so we want to give this whole thing a little thickness. Can we just... Is there a thickness? Yes, yes there is. Yeah, there. I'm paranoid about it crashing all the time. Thickness. And I'm just gonna eyeball this whole project basically. 5. There. Bam. That was easy. Okay, and So that gives us the thickness we desire. So now I think I should extrude it. Should I extrude it out or just pull it out? We can always add more lines later. And one of the things I probably should have done was mirror everything. Instead of the way I'm doing it. Still could mirror. Because then I wouldn't have to do that. To extrude or not to extrude? Where is my side view? There we go, that flattened it out a little bit. I'm gonna grab this top group though. So I lost some of the roundness, but from this picture it looks like it does flatten out quite a bit. It looks like a discrepancy between this one and this one, honestly, though. We'll see. I might change my mind. Okay, there, that was easy. Now we are going to make a... Maybe a cylinder. Probably 6 points. Where's my attribute ever? Where did you go? Where did you go? Okay, let's see. Let's make the radius a little bigger. Too bigger. Height. Caps. No, subdivisions. So I'm going to subdivide it later, perhaps. Because basically I want to make a triangle out of this and pull the sides in. Then why didn't I make a triangle? We'll put it at 0 for now. Put 0, make it not quite flush because that doesn't matter. Oop, definitely doesn't matter. Okay. And that is too big. Too big. Now, let's see. Wait. How thick is this thing? Why does it not seem to have any height to it? What the what? That's weird. It doesn't have any thickness. Didn't I make a cylinder? Okay, so now that we know our settings, 1.5, 2, and 6. Let's try this again. There. That's probably why it didn't work. Okay, I am going to be wrapping it up in a little bit. Gotta work in the morning and all that fun jazz. But it's been fun. I really don't mind that I spent the first chunk of the time talking Winamp and different softwares. It's good times, good times. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Wait a second, why is it not? Oh, okay, that makes sense. I simply need to rotate it 15 degrees. There we go. That should give me the one I want. And why does my audio sound funny? Oh, I'm on the last track. Well, how fitting is that? How fitting is that? I'm gonna finish up this this shape here, and then I think I'm gonna call it. Let's see. What should let's see if they are 1.5. And I'll make it square. I should probably make this 1.5 also. Not 12.5. There we go. All right. There. And then, you know what? While we're here, should we make it a little bit more rounder? Let's see. Let's see. One of the cool things about Maya is that, and I'm very curious to know if Blender has something like this. I splash water all over. History. I'm curious to see how Blender tracks history for like this reason. See, I can just go back in here and, you know, the poly extrude face right there. I can change the settings. It saves all the different settings. Now that adds in, when you work on large models, large scenes, that adds a lot of overhead because it remembers everything. Doesn't always work when you go back and tweak. You know, those changes might not carry through properly, but it's nice that they're there. Does Blender have an equivalent? One of the things that I love about Fusion 360 is that it has basically the same thing. You keep a construction history. In fact, when you highlight a feature on your CAD model, like you select a feature like a face or something that was worked on, it'll highlight the little stages in the timeline at the bottom of the screen in Fusion, like it'd be right here where the animation timeline is. It'll highlight every little piece, every little stage, or operation, there we go, we'll call it. Every little operation will be highlighted where that piece was edited. So that's, love that, just a visual, bam, it's very handy. Let's do a 0.25, and if Blender had something like that, oh man, that'd be fantastic. And actually, let's do a 5. Let's taper it. How do we taper it? Thickness? Not thickness. Offset? Offset. There we go. Oh, offset curls it in. Well, that's unfortunate. Scale tool. We'll just manually scale it in a little bit. Okay, reduce this, 0.5. There, I think that is good enough. It gives it just a little bit of a bevel. Bevel or chamfer, one of the two. I think that's technically a bevel right there. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so next time I will come in here and I will put the lenses on. Just attach them to these faces and model them. Then we'll give that a shot. Sort of funsies here as we're wrapping up. Let's see, object mode. Call this lens mount. Let's show the pivot. Where's the pivot? Center the pivot. And now we're going to move the pivot. No, this one? This one. Ah. Why you gotta do me dirty like that? Control Shift insert? No. Could have swore it was Shift insert. Snap a line. There it is. Okay, noted for later. So the visor is part of this, but we don't have those grouped yet. There, now we do. So now we can make these move. We can pop the visor up. There we go, we'll put it on the side. Okay, we're popping the visor up. As intended. And later on when we rig this, we will want to have this be able to swing back and forth across the front of the visor, where this little slot is, right there. But why am I blanking on how to move a pivot? I mean, you wouldn't want to have it be controlled by the pivots anyways. You would want to properly rig it and attach it to a joint tool. But why am I blanking on the pivot? home key. No, insert. Oh, it's just insert. Derp. Let's try that again. There we go. So we are going to move the pivot back to the origin. I do not have snap to grid on, unfortunately. We're gonna fix that right now. There. There it is. Snap to the grid. And it looks like we can't snap our rotation. So I'm gonna eyeball that. There. So now when we rotate, there we go. It appears to rotate along the surface, which isn't quite what it's doing because I did deform the surface, but close enough. So that'll be the lens assembly. And then further on, like it was shown in the opening, when it, ooh, I need to fix that for sure. So for, along with rotating the camera, or the lens assembly back and forth as the pilot looks around, well then, it then rotates which lens is currently in use. Not like this. Yeah, that's an oops. But that'll be fixed in rigging when it's properly rigged, instead of just for looks. Oh, it looks like we ungrouped it too. That's okay, we still have a bit more modeling to go. Especially since this, let's center this pivot again before we do that. It actually needs to be 30 degrees, not 15. Close enough. It'll be close enough. We're making it a low poly model anyways. All right. What do we got for the screenshot here? We've got to start. There. This will be the screenshot. Ta-da! Yeah. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yeah! Click. Okay. I'll look for that click, I guess. All right. Save Scopedog 1. So it was our first session, right? And I think let's see. Do I have time? I might not have time to rate anybody. No, we're gonna call it a night here. All right, it is a school night after all. So, good night, everybody. We're gonna call it, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Don't know if I'll continue Mecha Modeling Wednesday, or Mecha Modeling for Wednesday, because it doesn't roll off the tongue like Mecha Modeling Monday does. But, I might just play games. Maybe some Dome Keeper. They got an update coming soon. Or maybe something old. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So good night. Oh, yeah. Good night, Waffled. And we will catch y'all next time.